under their belt this morning alone. A little bit more warm-up compared to the rest of the grid. And for the rest of the Senior Max, this pre-finals will be the first time that they are out racing in anger around this circuit as all 34 carts take to the track. And there you have it. This is your provisional, this is your starting grid. We have Prasetyo Hardja, followed by Lewis Gilbert and Mark Kimber and Lukas Schlegel. This four should be an exciting front, followed by Yu Kapo, Dick Liu, and Yuto Nakai, Hayato Ida, Ryo Sakai, Sena Shiratori, Kenta Kumagai, Sauta Arao, Akash Nandi at P12. This will be exciting. Yoshito Sasaki, Arman Hamilton, Adeputra Hendra, Shu Kaneko, Kimi Chan, Austin Gale in P18. Followed by Futa Kojima, Quinton Liu, Aksat Mishra, Chao Zihan, Aryaman Banzao, and Fuji Kishi for the 24th positions. 25, Jun Ki Chao, Chanok Nan, Shuma Yamaoka, Zhao Yunqing, Ricky Donison, and Sotaro Ichimiya, the first of the qualifiers for the repechage. Followed by Karo Yoshida, Kenshin Asami, Ben Shenzhao, and Siri Kong Siri. All right, so the racers go around the track for the formation lap for this pre-finals as they queue up and get ready to start. Our starting lights are on, the cart is slowed down, they're bunched up together. The leaders have control of the pace. The leaders have the responsibility to make sure everyone gets away clean and there are no jumps. And as the powers slowly creep down the main start-finish line, this will be the start of the Senior Max pre-finals. Here we go. The lights are out and away we go. Prasetyo Hardja immediately under attack from Lewis Gilbert into turn one. Prasetyo maintains the position, and there we go into P2 as well.
Mark Kimber slips through Lewis Gilbert
and
to take
Yukapo.
second. Yukapo not wasting any time there. He wants to get his past Mark.
There you have it. So this is your starting grid open. Prasetyo Hardja once again at the front. Mark Kimber chasing. Yukapo, great move into turn one. And Lukas Schlegel losing out ever so slightly in those turns.
So pole member Sergio takes the whole shot. Very clean start here from our Senior Max in the pre-final. 16 laps. A long race for them here, but let's see how it fares out. We're going to keep an eye on Yukapo now. He's the one putting full pressure on Mark Kimber in second. Lewis Gilbert, does he try to regain a position here in lap number 2? I think Lewis dive on the inside of Yukapo. So Lewis back up one position at the moment to third.
And there you have it. So Mark Kimber is now having to chase Prasetyo Hardja. Incredible pace from Prasetyo at the front of the grid.
Yep, he wants to stay clear. He knows how competitive the three drivers behind him are. As much as he can avoid them, he will definitely try to do so. Ryo Sakai in 5th position, already 1.6 seconds falling behind our leader. Lukas Schlegel there in 6th, Shena Shirotori in 7th. And further down, we have a few tight battles, I think, for P10. Yuto Nakai holding on to it from Futa, Kojima, Hendra Putra, Yoshito. So a few changes as they cross the start-finish line. Our race leader is still Prasetyo Hardja from Mark Kimber, Lewis Gilbert, and Yukapo.
Once again at the front, 368 of Prasetyo Hardja, strong in the lead right now. The man lighting up the time sheets is not Prasetyo though, it's Lewis Gilbert in 3rd position. Lewis is back on fire. He's going to chase down Mark Kimber for that 2nd position and is ever so close to Mark Kimber, who is the RMC Grand Finals champion. Lewis Gilbert not giving up though, chasing up and closing the gap.
And behind our top 4, we can see Luka in 5th position, holding up Ryo Sakai, Sena Shirotori, and Kenta Kumagai. So the Japanese drivers all trying to push for it. Is that Lewis Gilbert ahead of Mark Kimber? I think that is so. So we have a change in position in the front, but it's not our race leader. We still have our Prasetyo ahead But yes, Lewis Gilbert has taken over second position from Mark Kimber with Yuka Po still in fourth.
So great performance from all of them there. And out of the 4 cars there, Luca Schlegel dropping back ever so slightly a little bit, and Ryo Sakai behind Luca as well. But the front pack, Prasetyo Haja dominating with 12 more laps to go as they cross this line this time around.
The gap between P1 and P2 continues to grow, 0.8 seconds now. Prasetyo managed to open up between himself, Lewis, Mark, and Yuka Po. So now that Lewis is back in second position, will he try to bring Mark and Yu along with him to try to hunt down Prasetyo? Because they don't want him to get away, of course, with 12 laps to go. Lewis, we know he has been setting quick lap after quick lap. Let's see how it fares out. Luca trying to do as much as he can in fifth to close in on this front group as well.
So Mark Kimber there in the meat in the sandwich between Yuka Po and Lewis Gilbert with 12 more laps to go as they cross the line, 11 this time around.
So the gap between our top two has come down slightly by 0.1 second. Now it comes down to 0.7. We still have plenty of laps of racing to go. We can see the pace, the difference between Prasetyo and Lewis. Lewis is the driver with the quicker pace.
The first car to be in the 49s for this particular pre-final race is Lewis Gilbert up in front.
So if Mark and Yu wants to join in the battle, they will stay as close as they can to Lewis and make it a 4-way battle for the win here in the pre-final. Luca still in 5th, Senna Shiratori in 6th. I think early on camera we saw a mid-pack battle there between Senna Shirogoki, Fuda Kojima, and Hayato Ida for 8th position. So this is cart number 304 from Kraft Motorsport, Luca Schneigel in P5. We're going to see if Prasetyo managed to pick up his pace slightly. So almost identical lap times coming from second and third as they try to hunt down and close the gap between themselves and Prasetyo in first. So Prasetyo Haja, our current race leader, but he is not clear ahead at the moment. This is 301.
That's Ryo Sakai.
This is Ryo Sakai in 6th position.
He's
So
now 2 seconds behind Luca Schlegel. Luca driving quite a lonely race up in P5 there because the front pack is not with him and the rear pack is not with him as well.
So further down the drivers that we haven't mentioned much here during the pre-final, we have Armand Hamilton chasing down Fuda Kojima for 9th position. Senna Shiratori in there as well. Austin Gill trying to creep into the top 10 now. He's currently sitting in 12th position. So on screen, if you can see the gap between Prasetyo and Lewis, slowly but surely coming down. It's now down to less than half a second, 0.4, separating our top two. Prasetyo may have some company coming out for him. Not just one driver is coming from Lewis, Mark, and also Yuka Po. So this is interesting to see so far in the first 8 laps, the first half of our pre-final. Prasetyo has managed to stay away from the rest of the competition, but they have finally caught up to him right now. Lewis Gilbert, we can see their cart 316 on the hunt, on the move. He has the quicker pace out of the 4 drivers. So Mark Kimber trying to stay close as well. Yuka Po falling behind slightly, just ever so slightly, but he knows in order to keep up, he has to pick up his pace. So out of the top 4
Prasetyo up front.
drivers in the previous lap, Prasetyo is actually the slowest driver among the top 4 in the last lap.
That's
so here
right.
he comes.
That's right.
Lewis Gilbert.
Lewis Gilbert now on the offensive on Prasetyo Hardia. Prasetyo, as what Ling has mentioned, is actually the slowest one out of the 4-car pack at the front of the grid. And this is definitely shaping out to be one heck of a battle between Lewis and Prasetyo. Will Prasetyo now put his foot down and try to make an even faster lap? Or is that him with his maximum performance already? We shall see as Lewis Gilbert closes the gap right up to the back bumper of Prasetyo Hardia.
So we can see now our top 4 all lapping in the 49. But once again, out of the top 4 drivers, the slowest driver was Prasetyo Hardia. And guess who was the quickest driver? Yukapo sitting in P4. So it is not done and dusted yet here for the pre-final of the ROTAX Senior Max. 6 laps to go. Any mistakes coming from our top 2? The 3rd and 4th position are ready to pounce.
Yeah, that's right. So Lewis Gilbert starting to be very aggressive on the lines. He's committing to an attack on Prasetyo soon. There's still 6 laps to go, so I think enough time for him to mount an attack into this is lap number 11 with 5 more to go.
So it looks like so far Prasetyo Hardia unable to shake off the pressure coming from Lewis Gilbert. He is in the last 3 laps. He hasn't been able to pick up his pace. This is only allowing not just Lewis, but also Mark and you to close up on him. I'm not sure if Prasetyo is aware how many drivers are this close behind him. He can definitely feel the presence of Lewis right there with him. But with 5 laps to go, the pressure is on Prasetyo Hardia. How will he try to defend from the 3 drivers coming for him in P1? So we know all 4 of them have more than enough experience to take the victory here in the pre-final. So all eyes on our top 4.
But behind them, the battle is ongoing as well. That is Ryo Sakai, Kenta Kumagai, and Hayato Ita for the battle of 6, 7, and 8 positions down there. But now we refocus our attentions on the front 3, which is Prasetyo Hardia, Lewis Gilbert, and Mark Kimber. And they are still next to each other on the track as well with 4 more laps to go.
So far, all credits to Lewis for staying cool and calm there. But he is surely aware that he's being sandwiched between both Prasetyo and Mark. So they battled it out yesterday in Heat 1, Heat 2, and Heat 3. They know each other's capability, they know each other's quality. Let's see who will be the first to make a proper aggressive attack to try to make the first pass here.
And the advantage of winning this to start as pole position in the final is very, very valuable indeed. You control the pace, you control the pack, and it is a very good advantage to have. So definitely all of them will be looking to win the pre-finals. But so far, Prasetyo Hardia is holding firm, solid, and steady at the front of the pack.
So Prasetyo putting his head down there, taking a quick peek at Lewis behind him. This time around, we are down to 2 more laps. So the laps are coming down. I'm sure Lewis has that in mind. So does Mark. They will have to decide, will they try to make an attack on Prasetyo? So Prasetyo at the moment in the last 14 laps has not seen the front wheel of any different driver. He has had clear track ahead of him right from the start, starting from pole position. But let's see how he takes on not just 1 driver, but 2 of the top drivers here in the Senior Max. As they come out of turn 12, this is the start of the final lap.
One more chance for Lewis Gilbert to dive down the inside. Oh, this time around, he's close. Will he be attacking into Mickey Mouse? He's close on the inside, but Mark Kimber, the opportunistic move on the outside as well. Prasetyo Hardia locks down the middle corner chicane And into Mickey Mouse, he locks it down. Mark Kimber is really close behind. Either one of them with one mistake will result in position change, and Yukapo is just waiting to bounce behind them as well. Look at that. It is Prasetya Haja defending against Lewis Gilbert with Mark Kimber behind them into turn 10, 11 now, one more to go. This is the last lap, pre-finals, as they rush down the main start-finish line. It will be Prasetya Haja taking the checkered flag.
So photo finish there between both Prasetya Haja and Lewis Gilbert, Mark Kimball and Yukapo. So judging by the pre-final action that we have, we definitely need to look forward to the final race. As many of the other drivers continue to take the checker flag in the pre-final, we will await the provisional results to run through all the final positions. But here you go, this is our man finishing in second place, Lewis Gilbert. Hopefully he is saving some for the final race. I'm sure Mark and Yukapo will do so as well. They will be back for the final race later this evening at 4:10 p.m. And remind you, they will also have the longest final race of the day, 22 laps.
22 incredible laps to go. So there you have it. This is your provisional result so far. Prasetya Haja, followed by Lewis Gilbert, Mark Kimber, Yukapo, Lucas Schlegel, Ryo Sakai, Kenta Kumagai, Sena Shiratori, Hayato Ida, and Arman Hamilton round up the 10 positions for Senior Max Pre-Finals, followed by Sota Arao, Austin Gale, Quinton Liu, Yoshito Sasaki, Fuji Kishi, Futa Kojima, Akash Nandi, Yuto Nakai, Kenshin Asami, and Shu Kaneko. 21st onwards is Sotaro Ichimiya, Kimi-chan, Chanok Nan, Zhao Junchi, Aryaman Banzal, Akshat Misha, Zhao Zihan, Hendra Adiputra, Shuma Yamaoka, and Zhao Yunqing.